into the front pages we go, and the Monday newspapers, there's no surprises that the majority of the papers, well, certainly the ones that I am looking at, like the Business Day, have this photograph of former US President Donald Trump, the Republican presidential candidate, rushing or being rushed off stage during a rally on Saturday in Butler, Pennsylvania, after a gunman opened fire. So that's the picture that so many papers and front pages around the world are leading with, so that you'll see a couple of times. Markets bet on Trump win after shooting, and that is the big story here. So this one's saying Saturday's shooting at former US President Donald Trump's election rally raises his chances of winning, and trades betting that he's going to take this one now after the shooting. It goes on to say a bullet hit Trump's right ear during the rally in Pennsylvania on Saturday. Authorities are treating it as an assassination attempt. Trump, his face splattered with blood, pumped his fist just after the attack. His campaign said he was fine. All right, then, SA lobbies against US review, and this is a bill requiring Biden administration to review US-SA relations fully. Still needs Senate approval on the president's assent. So that's one of the stories. And Parks Tower, of course, the photograph there. And this is all talking about AGOA. And we'll have a look more at that story. That's on the front page. President buoyant after cabinet talks. President Ramaphosa has emerged buoyant from the first big cabinet meeting since the formation of the Government of National Unity. 5 separate insiders to the weekend's Lekgotla, in which 32 ministers and 43 deputy ministers, as well as the DGs of departments, said there was very little bickering, general agreement on the challenges, especially on the economy, and that set a good tone for the work ahead. So that's what they're saying. And then finally, an outside chance of a rate cut. There's an outside chance the Reserve Bank's Monetary Policy Committee could cut interest rates when it meets this week, but the market consensus expects the bank to hold them steady.
I thought it was a certainty that so long ago
that it was going to be
in the
held
second
steady.
half of the year we would see a cut.
I think more in November, but yeah, anyway, that's the goalposts.
How we move the goalposts. Yeah. All right.
That's the Business Day.
Moving straight along, the Star this morning going with firm under probe scores 2 billion rand tender. Fidelity's 500 million rand Eskom contract under review. Transnet defends the security tender. Now, Transnet has awarded a 2 billion rand security contract to Fidelity Services Group, a group being investigated for possible tender fraud or irregularity at another state-owned entity, Eskom. That's an interesting one. Then also, of course, the story of the day yesterday with several frames of pictures that were taken of that attack on former US President Donald Trump as he reacts after being shot at during a campaign rally in Butler, and fears of shooting stoking the fire in a country already on the edge. The assassination attempt on the former president has enraged his supporters, paused the Democratic campaign, and raised fears of further political violence in the run-up to November's election. And Boks maintained world #1 ranking. Now, the Island rugby team has left South African shores after their hugely anticipated battles with the Springboks. And although the Boks did not win the 2-match series, the consolation is that they remain #1 ranked team in the world.
All right, so on to the Citizen now, and there is the same photograph. As I said too, this is very much so the one that's all over the front pages. Shake up, and this is all about not backing down. It's the Donald Trump, former president, rushed off stage by the Secret Service agents at that rally in Pennsylvania, and the Republican candidate is in that presidential election, and that shot hit his ear in an apparent assassination attempt, I beg your pardon. And then, of course, shake-up coming for towns. This is another one they're leading with. Non-performing municipalities will be shut down and re-elected, says Cooperative Governance and Traditional Affairs Minister Velankusini Hlabisa. And all the political parties in the Government of National Unity agree that those not serving the people will not be tolerated. Okay. And then, no step aside for ANC big wig. Official accused of receiving 300,000 rand from VBS Bank after investing council's 300 million rand. They're also leading with that one. And of course the box, Rassie set to ring changes.
And finally, we have the Sowetan. First jailed VBS looter out. Philip Tritter spent 3.5 years in prison and was released on parole. Now, the ex-CFO who got 5 million was the first to flip and spill the beans. And also Chifiwa Matodzi, VBS heist mastermind, began his 15-year sentence last week. The picture there of a U.S. Secret Service agent tending to Republican presidential candidate Donald Trump on stage after he was grazed by a bullet at a rally on Saturday in Butler, Pennsylvania. Ramaphosa condemns Trump's shooting. Those are some of the stories there. Also, just looking at waited in vain for my sister's call. That's a very sad story, and a few others as well.
All right, beautiful photo there at Sowetan that they chose to run with of Trump. Very powerful. All right, onto the website. You know where to go for all the information. That's sabcnews.com. We got you covered morning, noon, and night. It's our go-to for information all the time, as well as our SABC Plus app. Please do download that. Keep updated. You can watch wherever, whenever, and we'll bring it to you live on your device or computer or wherever you have the app on. So that's how you can get hold of us.